Hi everyone. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a report and how you're going to put the report into the final report. In this tutorial, I'm not going to be talking about bibliographies. That's going to be in a separate tutorial. So, the first thing that needs to be done is the sandbox needs to be populated by people outside of the editing team, people in the subgroups. So in order to do that, you scroll down to the sandbox and you find the respective parts that you're putting it in. So for this example, we're going to use Phase 2 Project Plan. As you see under Phase 2, there's nothing there. There's no page yet, so we need to create the page. In order to create the page, you can either go to Edit on the right-hand side, or you scroll to the top and click Edit. That means you're editing the entire page. Once you click Edit, you scroll down and you find the part that you need to edit. You get rid of this, eventually, and you put in a link to a new page. In order to put in a link to the new page, just essentially copy the formatting of another one that you see there. So for this example, we're going to call the page Phase 2, let's say, Project Plan Team A, and we're going to call the link Team A. What this tells the wiki is that the page itself is called Phase 2 Project Plan Team A. That tells it how to find it, and then Team A is just the name of the link on the page. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So if you go down to Save Page, and you scroll down, you'll see it now says Team A. But you also see that it says page does not exist, and the link is in red. That means is that nothing is there. In order to create the page, it's really simple. You just click the link. Congratulations, you have just created the page. So, what you want to do is you now want to fill this page up with sandbox information. That means information from the subteams. So, let's say we want to create a heading. We want to call it Heading 1, and we put an equal sign on each side of it. The equal sign tells the wiki which heading it is. So, for example, Heading 1 would be one equal sign. Heading 1.1, that is a subheading of Heading 1, has two equal signs. You can put heading 1.1.1 with three equal signs, and then if you want, heading 1.2 again with two equal signs, etc., etc. And let's put some content in here. This is text for heading 1. This is text for heading 1.1. This is text for heading 1.1.1. And to finish it off, this is text for heading 1.2. So, now we have content in the sandbox. So we go to Save Page, and now the sandbox has been populated. So, what needs to happen now is the editing team needs to take the content from the sandbox and put it into their final report. In order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new tab, go to the Africa Wiki site, scroll down to Project Plan, and click Project Plan Wiki. Project Plan Wiki is where the editing team makes their edits. So I click that, and what you'll see here is I've already actually generated this. So these are links to the individual pages. The way this is organized is the editing team puts it in a chapter at a time. So what you can see here is Heading 1, essentially Chapter 1, and then you can put under it Chapter 2, Chapter 3, etc., etc. This part will be populated by the IT team. So what you want to do is you want to find the section that you're corresponding to. So in this case, it's Heading 1. We go to that page, and we see there's nothing there. And so we're going to fill it with information from the sandbox. So I'm going to go back to the sandbox tab that I had open, click Edit, highlight everything except for Heading 1. I'll explain why in a second. Copy it, paste it, save it. You have now populated the final report. The reason I did not include the Heading 1 was because it's already there. We've already included Heading 1, or Chapter 1, or Section 1, or whatever you call it. So, after you do this, what's going to happen? If we go back to the main page, and it's not created yet, but what's going to be created is another page similar to what's here for the literature review, a viewing purposes only page, and this page will contain the entire report. The reason it's separated for the editing team, it just makes it a lot easier to edit, and it also means that you have less problems with people editing the same document at the same time. If you want to see an example of what it looks like when it's done, I can go to the Literature Review Final Report, and you can see here, it's not all here, but most of it, or a fair amount of the document, is completely here. So, this has been a tutorial on how to upload to the sandbox and how to take from the sandbox to the editing team section. On the next tutorial, I'm going to be showing how bibliographies work and how we can do in-text citations.